Hey everybody, Josh here, Canadian immigration lawyer and CEO at Visto.ai, and we are here to talk about how to streamline consultations for your Canadian immigration law firm. Now, I don't know about you, but back when I was practicing, this used to take me a fair amount of time. Obviously, the time itself to have the conversation, as well as the time and the thinking to have to answer questions and provide helpful information. And then often cases, the follow-up as well, right? Maybe there was some extra information you had to do some digging on, or information that you promised to get to the client afterwards, and typing up those emails can take a lot of time too. I'm going to show you how our AI Copilot can help streamline the entire process. So what you're looking at right now is the Visto AI Copilot. It's been trained exclusively on Canadian government information, operational manuals, IRCC website, PNP websites, all that kind of stuff. So it's just a little bit more trustworthy in that regard. So let's say, you wake up, you have your coffee, whatever it might be, you're ready, and you're ready to get on a client call with your good potential client, John Smith, right? So I have my notepad right over here and kind of ready to go. Now I'm having a conversation with my client. I'm asking them some questions, and maybe they ask me something basic, right? Or maybe you're newer to immigration, you don't know the basics. And you want to know, hey, am I eligible for the Canadian experience class? And maybe you don't even remember off the top of your head exactly what all those requirements are, right? Well, all you have to do is type into the Copilot, right? Almost any question you can think of about Canadian immigration. So for example, what are the eligibility criteria for the Canadian experience class? Was it 1 year of work experience in Canada? Was it 2? I don't know, right? So all you'd have to do is type in the question. And what you'll see here is that our Copilot, I'm just going to make this screen a little bit bigger, is going to start answering the question. I'm going to move my camera to the corner here. It's going to start answering the question, and it's going to provide you with links to the government website as well, right? So I can click in and see the Canadian government website that talks about Canadian experience class, so I can go and confirm, right? Because we always want to confirm these kind of things and make sure they're official. But you can see here, right? We talk about the skilled work experience requirements, the language ability requirements, education, all that kind of stuff. Now, let's say the conversation continues and the client asks you something like, well, I am eligible for express entry, but what do you think my express entry score would be, right? And you can pull up your different calculators and stuff like that. Or again, you can copy and paste their information or type it in and say, if my client is, pardon my slow typing, is 27 and has a master's degree and a CLB 8 and 5 years of work experience, what is their express entry score, right? Now, obviously, the more details that you can provide it, the more information you can type in, the better, right? Because there's far more questions that they ask about about the express entry calculation. And we're actually working on a feature that will just auto-generate it for you. But you can see here, based on their answers and factors, it's going to live calculate the express entry score for them that you can obviously tell them as well, right? The other thing that you can do here is you can now copy and paste this information as an example, and you can save it in your notes, right? So now I have the notes from this client call, and I'm going to save them here, just so, maybe I can reference them later. Or maybe I can say, hey, oh no, I forgot to ask them if they have a brother or a sister who's a Canadian citizen to get bonus points, right? Or something like that. Now, maybe it turns out that something like express entry isn't a good option for them. Their score is not high enough, and they start asking about PNPs. Well, you don't remember the 60, 70, 100 plus PNPs off the top of your head, right? So maybe what you want to do is, and again, you can do this all while you're live on the consultation call with your client, and you can instead say, what are their Ontario PNP options? Now for this, I might want to include even more detail. So let's say 27, has a master's degree, 5 years of work experience, let's say in healthcare. The interesting thing about AI and the important thing about AI is garbage in, garbage out. The more detail and information you can provide in the prompt, in the question, the better the quality of the answer you're going to get, right? So maybe we're going to see they have a master's degree in science, and a CLB 8 and 5 years of work experience in healthcare. And maybe they're, I'm going to say, and living in Toronto, right? I'm just going to put in more detail, because the more detail the AI has, the more output and quality information it might be able to provide you, right? So I hit enter and the AI starts going to work, and you can see it starts pulling some of the best Ontario PNP streams with a little bit of an explanation and a ranking system here. And you can kind of go through these quickly with your client live on the consultation if you want, and kind of do a little bit more digging to understand if this is going to be a right fit for them or not, right? And you can see here, again, at the bottom, we have links. So you can always click into the source, right to the website, and you can, decide if it's right for them. Again, the other thing you might want to do is you can copy all of this, and I'm going to save it in my notes, because at the end, number one, it's good to have on file, obviously, and we'll talk about what you can do at the end as well, right? So, and then, we can answer questions about a whole whack of things, right? This has been trained on almost every program you can think about: refugee, JR, appeals, citizenship, PR, almost every operational manual. So they want to know about inadmissibility, port of entry, whatever, right? You ask the question here and it'll spit it out. Document checklists, document requirements, eligibility requirements, what to do if this is expiring, what to do if that is expiring, right? These are all great examples of questions that get asked. This is actually an example that I was helping out a colleague of ours, something to do with the RAD or the RFD and what to do with if their decisions are appealed or overturned. The chatbot is very smart with stuff like that. Now, even better, let's say your call wraps up, right? You finished the consultation. There's all these ideas going around in your head. You want to send your client a summary of everything that you talked about and what your suggestions are, or something like that, right? So what we can do is I'm going to copy this entire text, and I'm going to go into the chatbot here, and I'm going to write, "Can you please summarize the following into a much more concise message so that I can email it to my client, summarizing the different immigration options for them," right? And again, you want to be as kind of specifically as possible, specific as possible, right? So now it's asking me to give it the summary, and I'm just going to copy paste it here, right? Now look at this. This is a smorgasbord of text, right? There's a lot going on here, right? You may have taken lots of notes or had lots of answers from a single consultation call. And now what the AI is doing is it's summarizing all of it in about 10 seconds, right? You can see that it's actually even writing it in the form of an email. So then what you can do is you can copy and paste this and prep it in your inbox and send it off to your client. And you could probably get this done within 3 minutes of the consultation call, right? So when I was practicing, it would be a 30, maybe a 45, 60-minute call. And then I might have to spend 30 to 45 minutes doing a little bit of extra research, summarizing everything, drafting an email, checking the grammar, right? All that fun stuff. And I can see here in about 10 seconds, I've reviewed your qualifications and would like to summarize, blah, blah, blah. You can obviously edit this however you want, right? But now I can copy and paste this into whatever you use, right? Outlook, Google, Gmail, whatever it is, prep it up and send it over to your client. So look at this. It has the express entry score and summary. It has the Ontario stream options, general requirements, application process, a note at the bottom, and then even a best regards. So this is going to shave probably hours. This will probably save you a solid hour plus per consultation. And if you're obviously doing multiple consultations per month, you might be doing multiple consultations per day. Not only is this going to increase the quality of the information that you can provide live on the call to those people that you're talking to, it's then going to make the follow-up, the research, the drafting, the emailing that much faster. So anyways, I hope you found this helpful. If you want to get started, luckily, the Copilot now has a free trial. You can actually start with the Copilot for free for 50 messages. by going to Visto.ai/Copilot. We will have a link somewhere in the description or somewhere right above or below this video. You can just click on try for free and you can get started right away. Thanks again for watching the video. Hopefully you found it helpful, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.